All right. So,
News time.
Yes. Now,
12 days of downloading.
12
Stop all the downloading.
Stop, you're downloading too much. Think about the children.
Help computer.
Right.
Help computer.
So yeah. So NECA has released I believe it's now an annual thing. Their 12 days of downloads, which is where they put out a checklist of things that they've done throughout the year, adding up to, like, cumulatively throughout the years of their different lines, and Turtles being among them. They have an assortment of these at this point, and it's very much akin to the back of the box, like when you get a new figure. Whenever Playmates is like, hey, the new line of Turtles is out, and you go pick up Ace Duck, you look on the back and you're like, oh, there's Baxter and this guy and this guy. It's kind of like that.
Collect them all.
Yeah. So and I think it's kind of neat. At first I was kind of like, I don't know, I was kind of shitting on it a little bit, like thinking that, like, who needs this? What is this? Okay, cool, whatever, it's fine. Yeah. I felt like they were overhyping it, but then I realized that, hold up, wait a minute. Stop, drop, open up, shot. You know what I'm saying? So they started throwing little reveals in there, and this year they did it again. Now we're gonna start a little light, and we're gonna work our way up to the big thing. So let's see if I can pull it up on the old monitor, this old rickety thing here. Let's see, what can I do? Okay, let's try. Let's try this. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, okay, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
So here is the NECA 2021 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles checklist of action figures that they have in their lines. And they have it heavily featured right now, mostly just because this has been the biggest thing. Well, actually, now that I mention it, they don't have the animated series on this one, but they do have the video game series. And
there you go.
This is where we're going to start. So now we've got a lot of these. We talked about this a little bit last episode, where you had picked up, let's see, where is he? You'd picked up Leatherhead. Jess Holly. And
there's something weird looking with him, man. Oh, that's right. He doesn't have those panel line.
Doesn't have them panel lines.
Excuse me.
That's nuts. So I haven't seen him since like in his normal form. I've only seen the one that you've painted recently. So yeah, seeing the difference there is that's wild. But yeah,
pretty crazy.
It is. And so I
forgot to tell you, I finally got that after my panel lining dried. I finally got that old warm mug of water and got old Jess Holly's tail attached. You know what I'm saying? Because that tail, you got to have that bad boy in the warm water because it will not go on the socket.
Yeah, the boil and pop kind of deal. Yeah.
And yeah, so now he's
oh, you got him?
He's having a little look. He's got his little
oh man.
I'm Jess Holly. Look at my butt. Look at my tail. Oh, look at that ink detail.
Take that.
That wasn't there normally.
Take that, Cherube.
Yeah, I took the chance to give him his knife.
Oh, nice.
And I got him looking crazy.
You call that a knife?
I got him crazy eyes right now.
Yeah.
He's got one hand up like, and he's got the other one like pointing the knife at you. You know what I'm saying?
So good. Oh, that's
one
excellent.
One eye's on you, one eye's on Rob Thomas. Yeah,
of course.
Your boy right there. You know what I'm saying? Live.
That's on Rob Thomas.
One eye on Rob. I got one eye on you, one eye on Rob Thomas. And there you go.
He's a Florida boy. For Rob Thomas is a Florida boy too. So I mean, he's probably been in the swamp with old Jess.
Probably with Santana there with him. Anyways,
I guarantee
that's Jess Holly.
I guarantee you that give me your love, make it real, or else forget about it. What's the name of that song? I can't think about it. Smooth. That was probably written about an encounter that Rob Thomas had with Leatherhead. I can see that being a thing.
Probably.
So one thing that NECA, they show us some other things that they've put out. That's the whole thing of this, and so they got a whole line. And then they did this reveal. Now, they showed us Granador and Trag. Now, we've already seen these figures, but they're still really neat to see in this paint scheme. Now, again, if you're new to this, essentially, what they do is they give it they're made to painted to look like the video game counterparts, and some characters. Such as where is he? Slash right here will look a little different than his animated series character. So not all the parts are complete reuse, but most of them are. And and then you got Armagon right there, which that looks so sick.
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting on my boy from Loot Crate. I'm waiting for that guy.
Ooh,
that guy needs to show up and be next to his friend Jess Harley. You know what I'm saying?
Essential.
I bought Jess Harley so Jess Harley could make a warm home
for
Armagon when he shows up. You know what I'm saying? Like
I forgot about that voice.
You can't have him just show up without somebody having made the place comfortable. You know
exactly. So we got Granitor and Trag, and they look great. Now, we've got these figures in the animated series line. In fact, let me go over there and zoom out here for a second. And, yeah, they look fantastic in the animated series line. Just so good. And, yeah, they are pretty good figures. I haven't, from everything I've heard, I haven't been able to open any figures in a while since I'm still in that moving state. But yeah, the Fwoosh, I think, is where I got this picture from. And if you wanted to get some more images of them and how they look, they're going to be, from what I understand and from what I could tell, the exact same except just different paint apps. Go over to the Fwoosh and look for it.
The big highlight of the video game series. Yeah, the big highlight. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was saying that if you're new to that line or whatever, the big highlight is the pixelization coloring. Like, they typically go for like an alternate scheme. And then the big thing is the pixels, which I can't really see on them. Oh, I can see it. So you see in the highlights, it looks almost like Minecraft kind of style.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's very interesting to see them, and that's kind of what you see between the different versions. If the figure's already released,
right?
Then see the chest detail. Like that's not just pixel zooming in, kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's on there
exactly.
And that's always really cool to see on them. I think
absolutely.
That the pixel shading is really cool.
Now, I think that Trag at least has a different face. It looks like they might both have different face sculpts.
Really?
Slightly different. I could be wrong, but from what I can tell, it looks like they might be slightly different. But speaking of parts reuse and all of that, the other thing that NECA's been doing and revealed recently is they've got some foot soldiers for us, Ryan. More foot soldiers.
Oh, nice.
Now, you and I both have expressed our love, and I think it's universal that people love the multicolored foot soldiers. Like there's something very charming about them, especially when they have unique weapons. Now, right here we have the green one and we have a pink one. And the pink one comes with apparently a box of explosives and then a giant bomb.
Nobody can forget the cat in the game that had the gigantic like torpedo looking thing that he was like holding above his head. He'd throw. Like,
right.
That is ill advised.
Oh yeah.
Big guy.
Oh yeah. So I'm really excited about this, and we're gonna have to go through one day and go through all of the foot soldiers and pick out like which ones like we want to be and which ones we like and stuff like that.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be kind of neat to do like as a bonus thing or something. But yeah, so there's that. Those are the video game releases or reveals, excuse me. But now the next big thing that they did a couple of months ago, they had I think it might have been San Diego or something, but with COVID, it was all weird. So they did it from home and whatnot. And they showed this image. Let me see if I can zoom out of this a little bit. So this image came up on their stream as a somewhat tease for their newly announced
I do remember this
Mirage line of figures that they're going to be doing, comic-based figures. And longtime Turtletarians will know that looks like, if we're all questioning all assumptions, but then landing on the most obvious choice, that looks like Fugitoid.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Turns out that we were correct. So let me see if I can find him on this menagerie of plastic goodness.
Right.
Let's see if it'll load. There we go.
There
so there's the Fugitoid right there in all of his glory. He's a little pixelated for some reason right now, but there he goes. And
he's resolving. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so, oh man, this is the first time I've actually seen him this big.
He has that perfect look on his face, which is exactly what he should have, which is where he's constantly like, oh God, like always. Like that's how he should look.
Like constant bewilderment and panic. Like just, oh my gosh. I can't express how much I love Fugitoid. And he adds, in my opinion, so much to things, especially in the IDW comic. I really enjoyed that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so this is Fugitoid. So Ryan, real quick, can we go through like a so basically on Professor Honeycutt slash Fugitoid for those who might not be familiar with this character?
Fugitoid was a very, very early comic that Mirage put out. Right there, what you see on screen there, oh god, is your boy Professor Honeycutt. You know what I'm saying? And the long and short story kind of on the origin of him is, obviously Fugitoid was a character, I believe, that was developed by Peter Laird a little more than like Eastman, but they kind of wound up collabing on it because they wound up roping him into the Turtles comics. But there was a Fugitoid one-shot, and that's where you first saw your boy Professor Honeycutt. He lives on another planet,
right?
That is currently at war between the forces of humanity that look like him, that are called the Federats, and the Triceratons. This is also the first appearance of Triceratons is in Fugitoid. Well, the whole origin story basically is, and this is, I love how this is redone so many times in Turtles lore, but it kind of starts. Honeycutt is developing a brain dome device, which you can clearly see right here.
Yeah.
That would allow him to, I believe, manipulate like things like almost like telekinesis. That's kind of like the idea of it. And obviously the Federats are very interested in this because this is like a major weapon they can use against the Triceratons. However, your boy has a robot named Fugitoid. No, his name isn't Fugitoid. I cannot remember his name.
Oh, I can't either.
He had a name.
Oh my god.
He had a name. And he was an android that was taking care of like all of Honeycutt's business. So while Honeycutt's like in the lab with a pen and a pad, you know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. So you're cutting.
Oh, my bad.
You spoiler alert. Anyway, it's okay. So Fugitoid goes. You might as well stay on it now because you're on it now. You know what I'm saying? Like you done did it.
I was looking. I was looking for his. I was looking to see if it had his name anywhere. So that's what I was trying to see. But no. Okay.
It's like Chap or something. It something weird. Anyway, so effectively, Fugitoid's outside, you know what I'm saying, or the robot that it will soon be Fugitoid's outside, tending to the yard and garden, and it starts to rain and lightning, and Honeycutt's like, oh no, my robots. He goes outside to grab him, but it turns out he winds up in a Ben Franklin situation. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, shabam!
Right.
And it turns out what happens is Honeycutt just dies his mortal form. However, because he's wearing the helmet, it interfaces with the android and makes him in the android body.
Yes.
He retains all of his sentience, all of his stuff and memories and his soul, I guess, but he's in this robot body. And because this went down, the Federat come and basically want to grab him and take him away.
Right.
And he's on the run. Hence the Fugitoid name. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And he's on the run from the Federat military because it turns out when they put their money in there, you know what I'm saying, those hunks want their product.
Exactly.
And Fugitoid then winds up running into the Turtles and then enters Turtle lore, if you will. Like TMNT number 4. Is a big issue where they all, Fugitoid, the Turtles, and the Triceratons all come to a head in that issue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's basically the long and short on him. So he obviously he's been featured so many times in almost every Turtles lore interpretation, every generation, every iteration typically winds up finding their way to Fugitoid. And like Eric said, if you haven't checked out IDW, they do an excellent job with Honeycutt and Fugitoid. I think it's actually super cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's him. That's him. And I believe, did you want to go back through some of the early toys of him and like kind of get a look at like kind of what he's looking like?
I do. Real quickly though, I did do some on the spot research, and it looks like according to some website, Turtlepedia, says that his original android name is Sal, S-A-L. So yeah.
Oh, that's right, because it was a takeoff of HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
There you go.
Fun fact: in 2010, the sequel, you find out that Sal 9000 is a real thing in the 2001 universe.
Oh.
And Sal is the female copy of Hal that is kept in Urbana, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? Where Hal was developed. And they use her to try to diagnose what went wrong with Hal aboard the Odyssey.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And yep.
There you go.
Cool.
Well, speaking of things that are cool, Fugitoid throughout the years, real quick, let's see how he's been. So, first time we see him, this is what he looked like on the toy shelves back in 88, 89. 1988.
I mean, there was nothing to say he wasn't gold in those black and white comics, but you and I both know he was silver.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you know what I mean? Just because. So this is an interesting interpretation of Fugitoid.
It is. I do like the color scheme and everything. It looks pretty neat. They nailed his look, which was like his facial expression. But
looks like he looks a little bit with the color scheme. I hate to say it though, he looks a little bit like the robot that Polly would fall in love with in Rocky 3. A little bit.
That's the second time today that movie and that robot has been referenced, unbeknownst to the other person that I was talking to. They were no reference to Fugitoid.
That is really weird.
This is bizarre. Like, this has been happening to me like
that's my thing about lately. Rocky 3. I love it. I love Rocky 3, but then you're like, and then Polly falls in love with the robot.
Right. Yeah, someone I was working with was talking about like how when rich people get so rich that they do weird stuff, and that came up talking about robots and stuff, and that's bizarre. Anyway, loved this figure, still do, and the best thing about him is that he could probably still work in any TMNT line that you're trying to mess with. It's like in a 5 to 6 inch or 1/12 scale. You could still run this figure, which is great. Then he came 2003. Like this, which I love this design. I think this design's really neat.
Love it too.
And I don't think I actually had this figure. I don't think, but goodness, that looks cool. And so he's so good for like, just so rife for action figure. Like, I don't know.
Absolutely. No. Yeah.
Totally. So then I believe Mirage put out this version of him that was like a special thing. I can't quite recall, but I do remember it coming out, and I think it had limited articulation, if any at all. Oh man, I'm jumping ahead. That other finger keeps clicking on the mouse the wrong way. So anyway, this is now the, I think, most recent version of Fugitoid from the 2012 line from Nickelodeon. And this design's interesting. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. It's a little too.
It's hard. I mean, there's a lack of sculpt, frankly, and he just lacks a lot of paint detail and stuff.
He does, but the interesting thing,
I do want to give Mirage credit for actually having the balls to do vac metal plastic vac metal plastic to actually make something metal look metal.
Yes,
I just want to say that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the one thing I will say in this one's defense is that this came out 2012, so that's still within the height of that whole stark white Apple kind of technology thing. Remember how like the Abrams Star Trek kind of had that vibe too? I wonder if that played some factor into this, which I do like, but I much appreciate the Playmates versions and the Mirage version, which I think also was Playmates, but you know what I'm saying. And then I think that's where we're at. I don't think that one came out for Rise yet, or if it ever did, but these are the main ones that I saw and then I remembered, and I'm pretty excited. This new one is gonna be, I think, really rad, and I think he's gonna go well with like everything else, as NECA stuff normally does. Like, I mean, they're pros at this, but I can't wait to have this on my shelf. Like, I'm so geeked out by that. But
that is the most truest version of Fugitoid, though. Hands down, like to the comic, like that is completely.
Absolutely. Yeah, that looks like it just walked off the page and just
absolutely
got out. Got in my car, Billy Ocean style. So, so got out of my dreams into my car. That's what it was. I couldn't think of the dreams part for some reason. I was really disappointed if I couldn't do that. But hey,
I'm about that paint app too. I'm about like, okay, so here's this. Like, it doesn't have to just be metallic, because if you do like non-metallic metal, I'm cool with that too.
Right.
Like you said, he's highlighted like a comic.
Yes.
There's like the white paint and stuff like that. Like, see, if you do that non-metallic, I'm cool with that. If you're putting paint app on it to make it look like it's like reflective metal, but
right. So
let's get some true metallics in here, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. But for right now, I'm still happy with that. So the only way I wouldn't like this is if his arms are bendy. The bendy plastic, don't like that. It's neat in practice, but execution, I don't think it ever really works out. But
no.
But yeah. So anyway, well, hey, what do you think of Fugitoid? Are you a fan? Did you like any of these? Or did we miss any of the action figures that he's had that are in the 1/12 scale? Let us know. Email us turtlesoupshow@gmail.com or comment down below. And let's talk about some Fugitoid, because we're here at the show. We love him. So let us know if you think differently or if you agree. And yeah, so can't wait to get this. And we'll keep you up to date as more things come out from NECA and all sorts of other toy news. So, all right.
Absolutely.
See you on the prime side. Else time.